Hello everyone, it is me, Christian Pony Lover, here again with another video. And in today's video, we are making feed bags or grain bags, whichever one you want to call them. So here is the craft supplies. I will be using black material and black ribbon. You can choose any color you want. Something small with a round bottom. I'm using some chapstick, a writing utensil, needle and thread, and some scissors, and a model horse of your choice, of course. Alright, to get started, you simply want to go ahead and take your object with a nice small round bottom. I would usually put my horse up against this to make sure it's not too big for my horse. So simply go ahead, lay it down on the material, and trace this out. Make sure this is already big enough for my models, so I've already kind of accounted for the little bit of extra. Then you're going to want to go ahead and measure with your horse how tall you want the sides of your feed bag to be. And take into account, I will be folding this at the end to give it a wonderful, pretty, nice edge. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out the pieces. And here are the pieces. This is what I meant by the long string. So I simply just measured with my horse's face on how wide I wanted this for her, or tall, however you want to put it. So I usually make this piece much longer than what I need. So now what we're going to go ahead and do, take your bottom piece of your bag and your lovely side piece here. Carefully just put them together with the edges, and now simply sew around the bottom of the bag. I will be using a whip stitch. Once you reach the other side of the bag where there's the seam now, I will explain what to do with that once we get there. So I'm simply going to go ahead and sew around the bottom of my bag. Alright, so now I have made it to where you have your seam, almost like the broken part in the bag. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to gently fold this over. I just like to eyeball it, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut off this extra, and then I'm going to continue just sewing up the side of the bag with the same technique as the whip stitch. Then I'm going to go ahead, tie it off at the top, and then I'll flip the bag right side out. Alright, you all, this is now what my bag looks like. It's all nice and sewn. Now I just simply need to turn it right side out. Once I do this, now I'm going to go ahead and see how it looks on my lovely horse. And now this is a complete option. Sometimes I do not fold over the edge, sometimes I do. It just depends on how much the material frays, or I'll even take my hot glue gun or super glue and add a nice lovely edge around the edge of the bag. But next we will measure this on the horse and we'll see what's next. Alright, and this is what it is looking like on my horse here. It is not bothering me too much. I just don't like it when the bag ends up like hitting their eye, basically. So it is not, so I will not be doing an edge, but I will gladly explain how I do. So I just simply fold over the edge on the inside here, and there's option one. I will glue this down because sometimes gluing it down can just make it look a lot prettier, or I'll go ahead and stitch this. Usually I'll only do this if I think the edge of the bag is too tall for my horse, but I don't think it is. So now I'm going to go ahead and make the strap so this bag shall stay on her head. So to make the strap of the bag, I will be using ribbon. There are two different styles of straps. One is where I'll take one piece of ribbon, make it nice and long, and on the other side I'll take a little piece of ribbon with a buckle on the end, so then you can buckle it onto the horse. Second option is I like to just glue a piece of ribbon on, measure around the horse's head and glue it on the other side. That is my preferred one because then I don't have to worry about buckling it onto the horse. So I'm going to go ahead and show you that one. Now you can either what I call embrace the seam or ignore the seam. So I think this time I'm going to ignore it by hiding it behind the horse's chin, so you won't end up seeing it in the finished product. So simply go ahead and glue a small piece of ribbon to the side or sew it down. I think I'll end up sewing it this time. Then go around to the other side, make sure you measure it and sew it on the other side, and then your feed bag should be done. Alright, so now I've gotten one side sewn on. So now what I'm going to go ahead and do, put it on my horse, measure how much I'll need, giving it just the tiniest bit of slack to be able to get it off of her. Then I'm going to go ahead and sew it on the other side, and then this bag should be done. Alright, and there you have it. Your adorable feed bag or grain bag, whatever you call it. It's super easy to pull off the horse, just like so, and there you go. And it's also easy to put it on the horse if you aren't recording and stretching like forever away. But this is how it is done, and it is super uber cute and not super hard to make. Alright, and there you go. That is how I make a feed bag. Hope you enjoyed this craft, and I'll see you all next week. Bye for now. We are God's masterpieces, Ephesians 2:20.